Hi guys, Togger here with a new video, and this video is a hunter rework video. So we finally have a hunter rework for all three specs and the class tree. So it's pretty massive, and I'm looking forward to talk about. So I'm not going to talk about the tier set. I'm not going to talk about I think tier set is pretty basic. I'm going to talk about the class tree for both videos. So I'm going to make the BM Hunter video, I'm going to make an MM Hunter video, I'm going to make a Survival Hunter video. I'm trying to make it for today and tomorrow, we'll have to see. But I'm going to talk about the class tree for all three specs very briefly, because again, I think everyone has access to that. But there's massive changes towards that. First and foremost, let's see the spec tree and the class tree. So for now I'm pack leader, but I'm going to talk about the hero talents a bit per spec I'm going to talk about. So for example with BM Hunter I'm going to talk about Dark Ranger and pack leader. So the class tree has been changed. We start with kill shot as the first talent, and you can work your way down, and you will see that the tree does excuse me, look vastly different from before, and you have way more choices to make, and you have to make those choices. So again, I wonder how it will work and if we can actually sacrifice a few points here and there, but it looks already way better. That's always something I wanted for BM Hunter, but also for MMS Survival. They did not have any choices on the class tree, and nor also on the spec tree. You had like one build and that's it. You changed maybe 1 or 2 points depending on the gameplay you're going to play. So for example, if you're doing raids, intimidation does nothing for you, so you're not going to take it. But in PvP, intimidation is so strong that you have to take it. There is no in between. So here we have way more choices, and I'm going to talk about a few things that I really enjoyed and that I feel like it is like nailed. So first and foremost, concussive shot is a bit harder to get, unfortunately, and tranquilizing shot is very soon on the tree, but you have to sacrifice a few points, and I don't know if you want to sacrifice those points, because you still want, for example, specialized arsenal as BM Hunter. That 10% damage on kill command is really strong. You want concussive shot, you still want like a slow as a hunter. I think that's quite logic. Misdirection is not that great, but you kind of want scout's instincts, and if you really want to have binding shot, well, you kind of have to spend those points into tranquilizing shot anyway. So you will have to lose a few points here and there. You will see that binding shot has been way easier to take, and it is now a 4-second stun if you're taking also tar coated bindings, which is a special talent again below the binding shot. We also have scatter shot, very easily accessible, but you can also take bursting shots. So if you want to knock people off ledges, for example in BGs, you can do that. So that's fantastic, even as a BM or a survival hunter. I imagine as a survival hunter you could easily like grapple someone, he's rooted, and once the root is done you can then burst shot him outside of the for example ledge. You also have quick load, which whenever you're going to be low HP, you're going to get bursting shot immediately off cooldown, and it has a 25-second CD, so you can basically kind of run away every single time in PvP with scatter shot, which is very strong in my opinion. Camouflage has been on the lower side of the tree, which I don't really like, and I also don't really like binding shackles, but they still need to put those talents. Like I'm going to be honest, Trailblazer, binding shackles, and camouflage, they have no business being like at that level. It could easily be replaced with intimidation there, explosive shot there, and binding shot here. That would be the logical thing to do, because then you can just say, look, I don't need binding shackles, I'm not going to take it, so you have more points to spend elsewhere. But I understand why they do that, because they need to make you want to take like talent points to lower the power creep. I understand that. But the good thing is we have explosive shot. We even have a high explosive trap, so you don't lose anything by going for high explosive trap, and that's actually a very good thing because you can put a macro with your disengage where you do a high explosive trap with your disengage, and you're going to like literally make distance with someone. So it's very, very strong, especially also in RBGs. In solo queue RPGs, you're going to have like a lot of moments where a high explosive trap is really useful. I like that. Intimidation now, if you don't have your pet out, you could now effectively cast Intimidation and it will call your pet. So it's really strong for MM, for example, if they're playing without pet first, and then if they want to stun, it will call out the pet, and then you would have Roar of Sacrifice, you would have the Freedom, for example. You have multiple things that are going to be quite good. So we have that. Every time you're going to kill command, you're going to lower the CD of Intimidation. Now I think it's aim shot for MM, but I need to check it. You'll have to see on the MM video. Trailblazer is a bit of a meh. I don't really like this talent, but since it's kind of free and you have to take it to go lower, especially for Roar of Sacrifice, then it is what it is. Roar of Sacrifice is still easy to take, although you have to sacrifice a point to get it. And then we have a new talent, which is Emergency Solve, and it kind of reminds you with Survival Tactics or like the legendary from Shadowlands, which is Craven Stratagem. Feign Death, an aspect of the turtle, removes poison and disease effects from you. It's not super good because it's only 2 effects, and poison is not like the most lethal effect, except maybe versus an assassination rogue, and still it's more about bleeds, and you have some poison damage, but I don't know if it's counted as poison or just nature damage, or both. So we'll have to see. And disease is very good versus Shadow Priest and versus DKs, but I don't know if it's going to be like revolutionary as well, so I don't know. It depends. This is really a point you can spend somewhere else. I have also serrated tips. I like that. I mean, you gain 5% more critical strike from critical strike sources. Moment of opportunity, so whenever you're going to trap, so that's why I'm saying like you have to sacrifice a lot of points to get like interesting things. Whenever you're going to trap, you're gaining aspect of the cheetah for 3 seconds. It's massive. Can only occur every 1 minute. And my guess is you can probably combining with hunting pack, so everyone gets the effect. That's what I think. I need to test it, but I think it can work. You still have Death Chakrams. You have Born to be Wild, so basically a CDR talent that is easy to take. It's a 30-second CD on your Survival of the Fittest, which is making it a 1.5 minute CD on a defensive, which is pretty huge because then it resembles as Evokers. You know, Evokers have the same thing, that where they have 2 charges for 1.5 minute CD. This is the same. The duration is not the same though. I think duration has been 15 seconds, I think, for Evokers, or 18 seconds. But this is like 8 seconds, and you will feel more tanky. Effectively, I think with the class tree being how it is, you are going to feel more tanky and way stronger. That's a certainty, like compared to previous like expansion. So that's a good thing. I think the difficult part is the top 3 is really choice based, and I would say for PvP you have to sacrifice something, pretty much anything. If not damage, it will be like something else that is, for example, also important but not that important. For example, Scout's Instincts, I guess. Not being able to be slowed below 80% is not that great, but how do you progress below? You need to still put like that point elsewhere. You can put it in Disruptive Surrounds or still in Scout's Instincts. So it's very difficult, but you can do this, for example. This is possible, but then you have to put like the point here to make it possible to go below, but it's very hard. Or you can maybe sacrifice this to go, for example, the removes up to one additional magic effect, which is a effective purge. This is really strong, by the way. Or whenever you're removing a enrage effect, is going to be reduced cooldown. I think the best is probably the Kodo Tranquilizer, and this is actually very strong versus priests, shamans, druids, and plus you can also have tranquilizing darts. So basically you're going to be very annoying versus those specs, but overall I really like these talents. If you have any questions, be sure to also comment below. I want to talk about the spec tree now, and finally we did get choices. I must say it's very hard to find like a cookie cutter build because you have to sacrifice some things. Let's talk about the tree. So we have Barb Shot, War Orders, Thrill of the Hunt, and Laceration on the top side of the tree. Laceration is actually a lot of damage. 50% is really a lot, and crits a lot. Like pets crits often, so you have a lot of uptime with that. Cobra Shot is still useless. I'm very sorry. It should be nature damage at least, not physical damage. And then we can maybe talk about it, but it does like pitiful damage. I would even say like but I think the problem is it is physical. If it was nature damage, it would be interesting, but it is not. We have Aspect of the Beast, very interesting again, but you have to take Cobra Shot for that, which is unfortunate. You have Pack Tactics, and then you have Go for the Throat, which is kill command deals increased critical strike damage equal to 100% of your critical chance. So a crit build can occur, especially since you have steroid tips. You can have like a combination of a haste crit build or anything that is in between, or maybe mastery crit. But crit is now not a dead talent anymore, like not a dead stat. You sometimes would like to have crit on your BM Hunter. Especially since Bridge to Wrath does give you a lot of damage. That combined with just crit damage, it could be interesting to have in total. So we'll have to test it out in the future. Kill command damage increased by 5%. This talent is a bit dead. I'm going to say that 5% is really low. You could spend it somewhere else. But again, if you want to have the biggest damage possible with kill command, you kind of have to need that to get like, again, some progression into the tree. We have Stomp still, but a lot higher, I think, and a lot more accessible. Alpha Predator now was on the class tree, now is on the Beast Mastery tree, and you can combine it with Killer Instinct, which you probably will have to take. So you will have 2 charges, more damage, but also more damage whenever they're low HP, so the modifier on it is going to be very big. You're going to be doing a lot of damage, which is undecent, but it will be a lot of damage, and it will be hard to counter a BM Hunter in my opinion. Savagery, again, a modifier on kill command, and also lasting longer barber shot, which is quite nice. We have Murder of Crows now, which is now a passive, it's not an active, at every 5 cost of kill command, which is something you're going to spam regardless. Is going to have a Murder of Crows, which is actually doing some good damage, like 400k physical damage without any modifiers over 15 seconds. It's a good dot, like it's going to be noticeable over the course of a match, which is better than a 1-minute CD, which often and not wasn't that great. So that's a good thing. Then you have Killer Instinct, like I said, and you still have Call of the Wild with the improvement of Call of the Wild. Then you are going to have the right side of the tree. We do still take Animal Companion. You could maybe play without it now, because it's not that necessary, but I think in general it's a huge damage modifier on your pets. Like, even though you're going to have lower damage on both pets, it is still, I think, around 30% more damage in total. Something like that, maybe 25% over the course of a match. So there is no reason to not take it right now. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to have like a choice node where you want to have a bigger pet or 2 pets, because to be honest, I don't really care having 2 pets. If my bigger pet would do the same damage, I would take it, for example. Laceration, like I said, a new talent, which is going to be doing more damage whenever you're critting. Again, a lot of modifiers towards crit. Then you have Hunter Spray, which is a lot easier to take. It's not that good. It really depends on the damage that you can do with Killshot. It does right now a good chunk of damage because of the stats that are currently in Season 1 for War Within. You will not have Abundance of Mastery, so the damage modifiers on your pets are not going to be that strong that it means that your base damage is going to be probably overtaking with Kill Shot and even Cobra Shot at some points, and even Barb Shot. Barb Shot does also some good damage, to be honest. So there's a lot of things going on. We still have Dire Beast. I wish you could maybe not take it, but the talent below is even better. It's Hunt Master Calls, which basically has every 3 costs of Dire Beast, and so you can even have, it's costs, or is it also like procs, because if it's procs, you would have to take direct command, 100%. But if it's proc, I'll have to test it. You're going to have either Hattie or Fenrir, depending on the summon. It will do an effect, so it will do 15% more damage for all pets if it's Hattie. If it's Fenrir, it will be doing a big dot, which is really noticeable. It's 380k over 8 seconds, and also granting you 10% haste, which is again a good thing to have. Then you have Dire Frenzy, which is going to add an additional seconds, 5 additional seconds towards Dire Beast. I feel like this is not like implemented. It still needs to be written to me first and foremost, because it's just written 5 additional seconds, which is not doing too much. We have Basilisk Scholar, which is a new talent. Each damage over damage effect on a target increases the damage they receive from your pet's attack by 10%. And from what I've tested, it will be around 20% and 40%. If you are like very lucky with your crits on your pets, if you have your barb shot, if you have your bloodshed, or if you have another, like, I would say bleed, you can have around 4 bleeds, if I'm like correct. And you just need to remember what bleed effect it was. Also, it could be, I'm thinking, am I missing something? Hunter's Master's Call, so you could have the 4th with Fenrir, which effectively is going to do even more damage on the target. So there's a lot of things going on that you can actually do to increase the damage that you're going to do. Maybe Murder Crows is also seen as a bleed. I don't think so, but it could be seen as a bleed. We'll have to see. But overall, this is really, really great. And I also think there is a bleed on the Plague Leader tree. Maybe. I have to see. It could be. That deals an additional 30% damage over 6 seconds. Yeah, that's a bleed, I think. Call of the Herd should be a bleed. And I'm still like looking, and that's it. Kilcara prepares you to visual sleep. Yeah, so that's it. But let's talk about Pack Leader really quickly. We have Vicious Hunt. Strong. I do feel like Pack Leader is way better than Dark Ranger right now. You know, just damage wise, I think their Dark Ranger has been really underwhelming. It is just not good. So I would just for now not take it, even if Smokescreen looks good, because you're going to get like increased defensives. I still think Pack Leader, the damage is really easy to do. It's like take it and forget it kind of feel. So whenever you are taking with Vicious Hunt, instructs your pets to strike with their basic attack alongside your next barb shot. So it's going to even more do damage. Denver Recovery, again, also interesting. Whenever you're going to use your abilities like Aspect of the Turtle, Survival of the Fittest, and Mint Pet, heal the target for 20% of maximum health over 4 seconds. Duration increased by 1 second when healing a target under 50% maximum health. So if you are like using Aspect of the Turtle, you're going to heal yourself. If you're healing Mint Pet on your pet, it's going to survive more. So basically the HP is not for you, it's for the pet. But Survival of the Fittest Aspect of the Turtle is for yourself. Here you have Kill Command increases the duration of Beast Cleave. Basically this talent is useless for PvP in general. You have Call the Horde, so again doing more damage on kill shot, but also increasing the bleed damage you and your pet deals to the target by 25%, which is really, really, really big. You have a lot of bleeds as a BM hunter. And then you have also like Consuming Frenzy Tier has a 50% chance to reset the cooldown of Barb Shot and deal 30% damage, and this is pretty much Frenzy Tier, so you have your pet's basic attack has a 20% chance to reset the cooldown and causes Cool Command to strike a second time for 30% of normal damage. So again, just way more damage in general. So Pack Leader is really strong. Is it balanced? I don't know. I still think hero talents in general needs to be balanced. Like Dark Ranger is like negative, and this would be a very positive one. Vicious Hunt and Pack Coordination now stack and apply twice and are always active during Call of the Wild. So you have like a big go with Call of the Wild, and you can sense that. So I'm going to show you the rotation with Pack Leader. and you will see that it's really strong. Does this increase? Yes. So basically, how do you do damage? So we have the overall damage from details. So you see, like, this is a basic rotation, right? Like, I'm doing just kill commands and barb shots and kill shots. So those are the three things I'm pressing. You have barb shot actually doing a dot for 128k crits. So again, crit is going to be quite interesting to play around. You have kill shot doing a 500k crit, which is not that bad, especially since you have also a bleed of it with kill the herd. You have laceration, which is a crit bleed modifier, so whenever you're critting with your pets, it's going to give you a bleed. This is also a modifier. You have vicious hunt, which is just something you're going to have extra by doing kill command, doing 250k, and then obviously you have your auto shots, and then you have your kill command doing 300k from your wit serpent. Now, I think it would be nice if I go for another pet, so I'm going to dismiss it. I'm going for the... I'm going for the fox. I'm going for the fox. So we have the fox and the moth. So it will be easier to see. Unfortunately, I don't feel like it's easy to see on the details. I think the second pet is not showing. So that sucks. But you can imagine that it does some good damage, right? So basically, if you're going to do a burst rotation, you're going to apply your barb shot, right? You're going to do kill commands whenever you can, and then another barb shot, and then you're going to do even an explosive shot now, since that is possible. And once you have like 3 stacks, you can basically go with a huge rotation with Death Chakrams, Bloodshed into a Beast, your Wrath, and then you have, of course, your rotation with Call of the Wild. So you can do Call of the Wild, Dire Beast, and you can basically do a lot of damage. So you see the stacks here, you have Basilisk's Collar, it's 4, so it means that you're doing 40% more damage on the target, which is again something you're going to like to see. So you can also call the Basilisk if you want to. And it's a bit laggy for me, I'm very sorry, because I'm from EU, so it's not really that great. But overall, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. It does a lot of damage. Overall, it feels kind of good to play. Way better than Dragonflight, because you have choices to make. I didn't even talk about the military, which effectively didn't really change too much. But I'm still going to talk about it. So we did a whole rotation. We did Bloodshed. It's a 1-minute CD. So for 1 minute, we did that much damage. So let's see. And we're still doing a lot of like dot damage. Huh? The Mirror of Crows does a lot of damage here. We have a Wind Serpent, we have a Fox, so now it's a lot easier to read on the details. So kill command is doing 460k, and you know it comes with also your stomp damage with your barb shot. It comes with your bite, comes with your melee strikes, comes with also you have beast cleave in general, like it's baseline for you now, with because of your hero talents and how your talents are set up. You have Bloodshed, which is not like the biggest dot, but it's still there. And then you have here Barb Shot, which is a good chunk of damage. And then you have your melees from your Dire Basilisk. Again, not something you're going to take every single time in PvP, but it's there. Then you have your Wind Serpent, and unfortunately it doesn't count your kill command damage. And you see here you have only 17 hits. I'm pretty sure it's not only like, it's not ×2. I'm pretty sure it's ×2. It's not like 17, but I think it will be more. Again, laceration, 70k on your Wind Serpent. Excuse me, laceration is for everyone. So you see 79 hits, and it's a nature damage spell, so it's also very nice. I do think it's not dispellable because it's nature damage, but it's bleed. So I don't know. I don't think it's like dispellable by a dispel, but we'll have to test it again. Auto shot, doing 100k. Let's see, we have kill shot doing 370k without crit, which is always welcome. I'm still attacking, by the way, so I prefer to not attack. Would be nice. All right. We have Vicious Hunt, which is a hero talent. Like I said, 12 hits, does 200k normal hits. I mean, it's extra damage. Like, you're going to do a lot of damage, like baseline, with whatever you're going to do. A Murder of Crows, it's a passive on a 5% like total damage, which is really good. 48 hits. I think it hits 1 every second, so it has a 48-second uptime, or I don't know. I think it's 24 hits then. I don't know, but it does a lot of damage, and the uptime is very like it's a lot. And again, we are hitting a target on 100% damage. So imagine if they're dropping below threshold, then you're going to do 50% more damage on kill command. So again, you're going to be quite good with that. Death chakrams still here. Explosive shot actually critting for 560k, which is it's there. It's obviously not like the biggest spell because you're still there to do a lot of kill command in barb shots, but it's going to be a bit bursty. It's going to feel like you're going to burst. You have your stag again. That's a another pet, and kill the herd, and then of course your melees from the beasts. I do feel like moth is not here, so it is bugged. You cannot really see the moth damage, but it is what it is, right? But overall, I do feel like it is a huge improvement. I still think mastery should be changed. I think mastery should be changed towards something that is more global for also the hunter, because it's only the pets right now. So basically your explosive shot has no real value, your barb shot has no real value, and your cobra shot has no real value, like, because it's not properly scaling. It's only scaling with your kill command and your melee damage from your pets, your bites, and so much more. Crit is going to be valuable, I think. Overall, I do like PM Hunter. I feel like it's way better than in Dragonflight. I feel like I'm very excited to play a BM Hunter right now. And I want to show you guys the Dark Ranger one as well, but I'm so disappointed about Dark Ranger that I don't really like. You can also play Master Handler here, which is each time barb shot deals damage, the cooldown of kill command is reduced by 0.5 seconds. But I feel like I'm not really running like low on kill commands, so you don't really need that. You have Scent of Blood, which again, activation of your Bestial Wrath will give you a barb shot. It depends on how thirsty you are for barb shots. To be honest, I can like have some good rotations where you're not going to run down on barb shots, and generally you're going to have your uptime on Frenzy. You have Kill Cobra, so whenever you're going to do Bestial Wrath, every Cobra shot is going to reset the cooldown of kill command. Again, if Cobra shot was something better, or at least nature damage, it would be interesting, but right now it is not as interesting. You have Brutal Companion, the same as in Dragonflight, and you have Piercing Fangs, which is the same as Dragonflight. Every 5 casts of Cobra Shot or Multi-Shot will apply Serpent Sting to the target itself. I don't know, man. I think right now Serpent Sting is not that good because of the fact that Mastery doesn't really affect that, and it's already a very low modifier on your attack power, kinda, like your agility. So it's not doing too much. If it was something that is like a bit more modified throughout the spec tree, I would understand Serpent Sting, but right now there's no reason to go for Serpent Sting. But overall, I really like the tree. I do feel like you still need to make a lot of choices, because you can maybe disregard a few things, but again, it's very hard. Like, you have to take Kindred Spirits for Bestial Wrath, or you take Training Expert. You could also disregard Murder of Crows and go for something else. You also have now Barrage, which is it's okay. It just does so little damage and a lot of focus on it. If it was like really modified by Mastery, it could be maybe interesting, but right now it is not the case. And overall, I'm liking it. You can do multiple builds. You can play more around like your consistent damage with Piercing Fangs and Brutal Companion. You can play around a big CD, which is Bloodshed now, which is effectively a big CD, by the way, because you have Venomous Bite, which is also strong, which is going to give you more damage on kill command. You can even go for Wild Instinct, so your kill command is going to hurt a lot. So that's interesting. Now let's talk really quickly about Dark Ranger, but I'm not going to be too long about it because it's really bad and it needs to be reworked somehow, some way. You have now Black Arrow. It does little damage. You have here Barb Shot kill command deals increased damage. That's interesting, but again, I think Vicious Hunt in general is just better, like overall. Each time a Black Arrow deals damage, you have a 10% chance, and it's really low. It's not really big, it's really low, to manifest Dark Hound to charge to your target and deal shadow damage. You have here a smoke screen, which is your defensive pretty much. You have Shadow Surge, so every time you're going to use multi-shot someone that is affected by Black Arrow, you're going to do a burst of shadow energy. It's not a lot of damage, and you're not talenting into multi-shot, so it's not that good. When you apply Black Arrow, you get Hunter Spray, so you get directly a kill shot possibility. Disengage gives you a slow on the targets. You have Darkness Calls, which give you more damage on shadow damage, and also on your pet's deal is increased by 10%. You could also go for Shadow Erasure, I guess, but if you really need barb shots, but it's not the case right now for me. When Black Arrow resets the cooldown of an ability, gain 15 focus, because it can reset barb shot with every time it's going to deal damage. It's not that good. When a target dies, you get a CDE reduction. It's alright, but in PvP, if someone dies, you win, so it doesn't really matter. When a Call of the Wild is active, Black Arrow deals damage 50% faster. It's a modifier, but it's not that big. Withering Fire, when Black Arrow resets the cooldown of aim shot or barb shot, a barrage of dark arrows will strike your target for shadow damage and increases damage you and your pets deal by 10%. It's not that good. I'm going to show you really quickly. It's not impressive. So I'm going to deal the normal rotation. So I have my barb shot, I do a explosive shot or kill shot, I do a kill command, why not? And then I'm going to do a Dire Beast. And then I have like my whole rotation with Beast or Wrath. So I'm doing some okay damage, and I'm going to do Call of the Wild here. It's okay damage. It's not that impressive in my eyes. It could be better again. You can do another Dire Beast again. I'm really disappointed about this stream, man. It could be way better. Even fantasy-wise, it doesn't seem like I'm doing too much. Like, I think pack leader is not that interesting as well. Don't get me wrong. I didn't use bloodshed here. I think it could be doing more damage. I just feel like most damage that you're doing is basically it's basically your damage. It has nothing to do with hero tons. So Black Arrow did a whopping 2% damage. Your Dark Hound did a whopping 2% damage. You see what I mean with all these things? It's not that great. It does little damage, and there is nothing like revolutionary. I would say Killshot doing a bit more damage is okay. It's but I don't think it's like, I don't think it's that impressive. Like, it really needs changes. It doesn't need to be like extremely like big damage, but if you compare with my Arms Warrior video, where literally your Demolish did like a 2 million damage directly, and it is like only the final hit, you already know how late it is in the design aspect. But like they said, they are kind of done with the design for this beta cycle. It will be now about like balancing, which I understand because the game will come out very soon. But it's a bit disappointing. I think Dark Ranger is really bad. Even fantasy wise, pack leader is not that impressive, but at least it does something, which is not telling you too much about pack leader, but it tells more about Dark Ranger being bad. I think if you have asked me if I wanted a Dark Ranger like spec for Hunter, I would stream yes. But right now I feel like the Dark Ranger I asked like a few expansions ago is nowhere near what it is right now. So it needs changes, but it is what it is. Again, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you. It has been a long video, but I wanted to talk in depth about BM Hunter and like not say like what it is on the screen, but also my feelings towards how I play, and also just in general how I compare it with Dragonflight and even Shadowlands. I do feel like this iteration of BM Hunter is miles ahead of BM Hunters from Dragonflight and also Shadowlands. That's for sure. But I think it still needs changes on the hero talent. I think. And also Cobra Shot should be relevant again, because it was relevant before, but right now it is like literally, why press Cobra Shot if you can press kill command, kind of feel. So again, thank you for watching this video, really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and the next video will be about MM Hunter. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.